Sundays in New York can be a pleasant time, especially if you're among the Shea Stadium faithful who come to see another exciting chapter in the saga of the man with the eggshell knees. The man, of course, is Joe Namath. As he goes, so go the Jets. Facing the man last week was the machine, an awesome powerhouse built by head coach Don Shula. From a joke to challenger to the team to beat in just 3 years, Shula built his machine in a series of interchangeable parts. These parts have meshed to make Miami the only undefeated team in the NFL this season.
Rick Weaver, Lou Kriegmer, and Henry Barrow. Just a gorgeous day for football here from Shea Stadium. We are ready to go. Yefremian waiting for the official signal. Here he comes forward. He gets the tone of the ball. He gets it high against the wind. Farasopoulos comes out at the 5. He grabs it straight ahead of the 10. Cutting to the near side. The 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, and he's dragged down at the 35. Tackled by Lloyd Mumford. A fine return by Chris Farasopoulos, who's a safety man on defense. Now setting the Jets for you offensively. Namath the quarterback. Bell and Maynard the wide receivers. Castor is the tight end. We have Cliff McClain starting at a running back spot, number 42. Dolphins defense. Jen Herter and Stan Phil at the end. Fernandez and Dunaway the tackles. Bonacani, Swift, and Colin are the linebackers. Foley and Johnson the quarterbacks. Scott and Anderson the safeties. Namath, of course, the quarterback. First down, Jets at their 35-yard line. Joe deploys 2 wide receivers off to the far side of the field. Here is Namath, the handoff to McClain through a hole in the right side, shakes the tackle, and he's knocked down at about the 37. Tackled by weak safety Jake Scott. McClain is a 6-foot, 217-pound, 3-year man from South Carolina State.
Tim Foley had a good chance to stop McClain for a little loss right there, Rick, but he slipped right out of his arm. Could have been a good one.
All right, we have a second down and 8 for the Jets. The ball at their 37-yard line. They deploy Maynard and Bell as double wide receivers to the near side. Riggins and McClain are the running backs, and they split off Castor to the far side of the field. Second down and 8. Namath back to throw. He has time. He fires the ball and is caught by Maynard across the 50 in the Dolphins territory at the 48-yard line. Bill Stanfield broke in on him at the last minute, had the hands up in the air, but Joe lofted the ball, and the receiver was right where he was supposed to be. The tackle on the play by strong side linebacker Doug Swift, and the Jets have a first down at the Dolphins' 48-yard line.
That's typical of Joe Namath. He'll just step right there just until his last split second before he lets that ball go and make that completion.
14-yard pass completion to Don Maynard. First down, Jets at the Dolphins' 48-yard line. Bell, along with, here's a handoff to Riggins through a hole on the right side, gets to the 40-yard line and is knocked down right there. John Riggins, who leads the American Football Conference in rushing, the ball carrier, rambles for 8 yards across the right side. Bonacani and Colin in on the stop.
That McClain looks like he may be the man to fill in for Boozer here eventually. McClain came out there and put a darn good block on Swift.
We have a second down and 2. Jets ball at the Dolphins' 40-yard line. Bell flips to the far side. So does Maynard as a slot man left. McClain and Riggins are the split backs in behind Joe Namath. A second and 2 at the Dolphins' 40-yard line as they are moving from our left to our right. Namath sets his ball club. On the snap, somebody goes. The handoff goes to McClain over the right side. He appears to have the first down at the 37-yard line, but there are flags down as somebody jumped too soon. The tackle on the play made by the Dolphins' left cornerback, Tim Foley. Offside against Miami is the call. And the Jets undoubtedly will take the penalty because they'll pick up a couple of additional yards, and this will still give them a first down. And that's exactly what occurs. A first down at the Miami 35-yard line. Offside on the Dolphins. And Namath has his ball club on the move. McClain and Riggins jumping all over as the split back. And now Riggins resets in tight. Waiting for the snap. Namath hands off, flag down. McClain tries to turn the right side end, shakes the tackle, bounces off another one, and gets to the 33-yard line. Offside coming up this time against New York. The tackle made by Jim Dunaway. Offsides against the Jets this time is the call. Somebody on the left side moved, and the Dolphins will take this penalty. as the forward progress of the football was put down at the Miami 33-yard line as McLean picked up just a couple of yards. So the Dolphins take the penalty against the Jets, and that moves the ball back to the Miami 40-yard line, from where it'll be a first down and 15. Next week, airtime along these stations for the Dolphins game against the San Diego Chargers, a team that has made more trades than George Allen, will be 12:50. Out of the huddle, Namath brings his ball club with a first and 15 at the Dolphins' 40-yard line. Maynard, along with Jerome Barkham, now in the ball game. The big rookie split off the near side. Castor is a wide receiver to the far side. First and 15 from the Dolphins' 40-yard line. Namath sets. He drops straight back to throw. He sets. He fires. It is almost intercepted at the 20-yard line. The intended receiver was Cliff McLean, and it was thrown too high as Namath got a good rush that time, and the ball bounced off McLean's fingertips, and Jake Scott almost got it over there, but he couldn't get to it. So it'll be a second down and 15. Jets ball at the Dolphins' 40-yard line. We have just started this ball game. We have 11 minutes, 59 seconds left to go in the first quarter. There is no score. The Jets took the opening kickoff and has progressed as far as the Dolphins' 35. They actually got to the 33, but had that play nullified on a penalty. Right now, we have a second and 15. As Namath brings his ball club out, the ball at the Miami 40-yard line. Castor is the wide man to the far side. We've got Barkham and Maynard split off the near side. Riggins and McLean are the split backs in behind Namath. He has a couple of double sets all the way through this offensive picture. He's throwing the slant to the near sideline. It is caught and out of bounds by Maynard just inside the 30. That will not be good enough for a first down. They need about 5 more yards. Running him out was left cornerback Tim Foley, as Maynard just slanted out to the near sideline, and Joe lofted the ball to him, and he caught it.
You have to respect Namath and the job he does here, Rick, in calling those plays. He sets that play up so that he can just cut away at enough yardage so they can get down and get that first down.
Third down and 4 for the Jets. The ball just inside the Dolphins' 30-yard line. Barkham splits off the far side. Maynard to the near side. Namath calling the signals on the quick count. Hands off on a draw. McLean through a hole on the left side. He's got the first down. Inside the 25, down to about the Dolphins' 23-yard line. Tackled by Manny Fernandez and Nick Bonaconte. McLean picks up the first down. Cliff McLean, a 3-year veteran, number 42 from South Carolina State. So Namath has his ball club on the march, mixing his plays beautifully, and a first down at the Dolphins' 23.
And he gets great cooperation between Riggins and McLean back there, Rick. Boy, they really block for each other.
Out of the huddle they come. Maynard splits to the near side. Riggins and McLean, the split backs, in behind Namath. Barkham is split off to the far side. Namath with a first down at the Dolphins' 23, and now Riggins resets to confuse the defense. Here's a handoff to Riggins. Outside, inside he goes, and he's going to get about a yard, and that's all. He started inside and cut back to the outside over the right side and gets about 2 yards. We'll place it down at the 21-yard line. It'll be a second down and 8.
That's the third time that Joe's run that play over to the weak side, right at Den Herter. I just wonder if he's trying to test Burns.
Second down and 8. The football at the Dolphins' 21-yard line. They are certainly within field goal range. Outfield on the season has 5 for 7. Barkham splits to the near side, as Namath has a second down and 8 at the Dolphins' 21-yard line. The other receivers are deployed as a flat man and a wide man to the far side of the field. On the snap, Namath straight to throw. He fires for the far corner. It is blocked by Barkham at the 11. And he is out of bounds at about the 10-yard line on the far side of the field. Jerome Barkham, the big rookie, 6'3", 215, number 83 from Jackson State. Run out by right cornerback Curtis Johnson. And that is a first and goal situation for the Jets. The ball at the Dolphins' 10-yard line. 4 first downs thus far in this drive for the Jets. Namath has hit 3 out of 4 for a total of 34 yards. They cannot make another first down here, at least from the position of the football. A first and goal at the Dolphins' 10-yard line. Let's see what Broadway Joe comes up with this time. Looks over the defense, looks over his offense. He sets them. On the snap, hands to Riggins over left tackle. He pounds his way to the 6-yard line before he's smothered by a white jersey. A 4-yard pickup. A tackle by Jim Dunaway. They put it down at the 5, so give them a gain of 5. Actually, it's outside the 5-yard line at about the 5.5. It'll be a second down and 5.5 yards to go for a Jets touchdown. And Namath has used ball control. He has eaten up the clock. We have 9 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in this first quarter. This drive has taken over 5 minutes. McLean and Riggin are the split backs behind Namath. On the snap, he hands to Riggin, finds a hole on the left side, pounds his way down to about the 1-yard line. The big second-year fullback from Kansas down to the 1. It'll be a third down coming up. Mike Poland made the tackle on the play. Steve Harkey comes in to assist in the blocking. Wayne Stewart also. Harkey, number 36, a running back from Georgia Tech, a second-year man, and Stewart, a 6'7", 228-pound, 4-year tight end from California. Third and goal from the 1-yard line. They have a full house backfield now with 3 running backs in there. Namath from the Dolphins' 1-yard line. Hands off. McLean. He fumbles the ball at the goal line, and apparently he recovers for the touchdown. The official's hands go up. It looks from here as if the ball might have squirted loose, but he apparently got it back and got it into the end zone for the TD. John Smith is the man who got it from center. Now we'll have to check and see whether McLean gets the touchdown or Schmidt gets it. Bobby Howfield is in to try the point for placement. And holding is Bob Davis, the backup quarterback for Joe Namath. That drive, 12 plays, 65 yards, consumed 6 minutes and 7 seconds. So Namath gets the Jets on the board first. Waiting for the snap. Here it is, set down, the kick is up. And it is good. With 8 minutes and 53 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Dolphin football action continues from Shea Stadium with a score, the Jets 7, the Dolphins nothing. Rick Weaver, Lou Creekmer, and Henry Barrow back at Shea Stadium. Howfield preparing to kick off. The touchdown will go to left guard Randy Rasmussen. That's the first one that he has scored. He recovered McLean's fumble. It was not Schmidt. It was Rasmussen, number 66, the left guard. And what a thrill that must be for him. He gets a touchdown out of it. Charlie Lee, number 23, and Mercury Morris, 22, are back here at the south end zone to receive Howfield's kickoff. Here it is. A high swiver bounces down the far sideline. Lee picks it up the 5, the 10, the 15, to the 20. Shakes the tackle. Full to the near side. Stiff arm. He is still looking for the hole. He gets to the 25, slides across another man, and gets to the 27-yard line. A fine run by Charlie Lee. He was using the old stiff arm and bouncing off people. A return of 20 yards. The tackle made by Ralph Baker. So the Dolphins will start from our 26-yard line with Warfield, Bob Greasy, the quarterback, Jim Kick, and Larry Zonka will be the running back. And Howard Quilley is starting at a wide receiver. The Dolphins set in tight this time with Kick coming in motion to the near side. Quilley is the wingman. Now Kick set. He sets for an instant. The handoff, Zonka, big hole in the middle. He pulls his way across the 30 and gets out to the 33-yard line. Henry?
What may turn out to be a serious blow to the Dolphins, Mercury Morris, blocking, was hurt on that kick return. They're examining his right shoulder, and now they're also examining the left shoulder. He was jammed pretty good.
7 yards on the carry by Larry Zonka. A second down and 3. Dolphins football at our 33-yard line. Quilley and Warfield deploy as double wide receivers to the far side. Zonka and Kick out of split backs in behind Greasy. On the snap, the handoff goes to Kick behind Zonka, threads his way through the middle across the 35 and gets out to about the 37-yard line. That should be good enough for a first down. First down for the Dolphins. Mark Lomas, the defensive end, made the tackle. Setting the Jets defense for you, Philbin, Little, Elliott, and Lomas are the front four. Baker, Atkinson, and Grantham are the linebackers. Cannon and Thomas, the quarterbacks, and Farasopoulos and Gus Holloman are the safeties. Dolphins ball at our 37. First down, Howard Quilley. Puts off to the far side, Warfield to the near side. Zonka and Kick are the I formation backs in behind Greasy. Joe Namath took the Jets down for a 7-0 lead. Handoff goes to Kick, and he's over the right side and squirts through a big hole across the 40 out to about the 42. Henry?
Mercury has been judged okay. He can go in the ball game when they need him.
Thank goodness.
Rick, we're seeing all those variations of 4-3 there on this Jet defense. And the offensive line is still adjusting to it beautifully and moving him right out of the way. Little is doing a great job on John Little.
Second down and 5. Dolphins football at our 42-yard line. The Jets took the opening kickoff. Took them 6 minutes and 7 seconds to sustain drive, 65 yards, and Rasmussen recovered a McLean fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. Here's the handoff going to Zonka, and he hits the middle, and they were waiting for him that time. He got about a yard to the 43, and that's all. John Elliott, the 6-year man from Texas, the right tackle, number 80, made the initial contact. They put it down at the Dolphins' 43, and coming up, it'll be a 3rd down and 4 situation. The Dolphins' offensive line, Doug Crusan and Norm Evans are the tackles, Morris Fleming the tight end, Kuchenberg and Larry Little the guards, and Jim Langer the center. Tully splits to the far side. Warfield to the near side. Chick and Zonka the split-backs behind Greasy from the Dolphins' 43 on a 3rd down and 4 situation. On the snap, Bob drops to throw his first pass. Way back he goes. He fires. Caught by Morris Fleming, and he is about beheaded at the 35-yard line in Jets territory, but not before Greasy picks up a first down, hitting Morris Fleming on a slant coming across the middle, 22 yards, and the Dolphins have a first down at the Jets' 35. The tackle by right corner, Early Thomas.
Bob beat me just to it, Rick. I was just going to say that tight end's got to be open because that strong safety is coming up and allowing all that area open.
First down, Dolphins, as Greasy completes his first pass at the Jets' 35-yard line. The Dolphins moving from our right to our left to the open end of the field. Chick and Zonka, the I formation backs. Twilly is split a couple of yards off the right side. From the Jets' 35-yard line. Greasy, long count. Here's the pitch to Chick behind Zonka. Sweep, cuts to the left, and he gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. The blocking just was not there, and the pursuit by the Jets was fine. The left linebacker, Ralph Baker, refused to be ridden out of the play, and tackle John Little also got in on it. No gain. It'll be a 2nd down and 10. Dolphins football at the Jets' 35-yard line. The Dolphin offense really has not gotten on track this year. This team led the AFC last year in most offensive departments. But the defense has really held up and given them excellent field position. Mercury Morris has come in now. And a running back with Zonka. His kick is out. Warfield switches to the near side, fully off the far side. Morris goes in motion and now steps as a wide receiver to the far side of the field. 2nd and 10 from the Jets' 35. Greasy drops the throw. He has time. He fires, overthrows Warfield on a slant in the middle at about the 17. Incomplete as Bob let her fly, and Warfield just couldn't catch up to it.
But we really saw something on that last play there, Rick. When Mercury went in motion over there at the right and set out there far to the right, Ralph Baker, the linebacker, went out there and was on him man for man. So we may see some pretty good receptions out here when you got a linebacker covering a guy like Mercury.
3rd down and 10. Dolphins football at the Jets' 35-yard line. 4 minutes and 16 seconds to play in period number 1. The Jets lead by a score of 7-0. The Dolphins break out of the huddle. Pulley splits to the far side. Warfield comes to the near side. Morris and Zonka are the split backs in behind Greasy. On the snap, Bob drops the throw. He sets up. He fires for the far corner. It is incomplete. Intended for Twilly. And the ball was juggled around over there at about the 20-yard line, and Baker dropping off from his linebacker spot. Defends pretty well on that play. Steve Tannen also was over from the cornerback position. Henry?
Steve Tannen, who actually batted that ball, Rick, from our vantage point, hurt him, looked like his left arm when he fell out of bounds.
Garo Yepremian will try a 43-yard field goal. Morrow will hold. Garo is 5 for 9 in the field goal kicking department. And had 3 big ones last week. Flags go down. Here is the kick. Look from here. It is no good. He hooked it off to the right side. But there are flags down, and let's see what this call is going to be. Somebody jumped. There is a flag on the play, and the penalty is against the Jets, so the Dolphins will get a chance to try it again. Garo hooked that ball off to the right side, and the wind was behind him. So a 5-yard penalty, and the Dolphins will try it again.
That's pretty good, Rick, when you get a practice shot.
And the penalty puts the ball down at the Jets' 30-yard line, so this will now be a 38-yard attempt, and Garo will get another try at it. The far inbound hash mark, Morrow to hold. 4 minutes, 6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Waiting for the snap. Here it is, set down. The kick is up. This time it hits the right upright. It is no good and bounces back into the field. Garo hit the right upright, as he has done a couple of times earlier this year. So The Jets will put the ball in play and start from their 20-yard line as the Dolphins drive is halted. As Yepremian hooks the first attempt from about 43 yards. And then a penalty, and the Dolphins got another shot at it. He hit the right upright on the second attempt. There is a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action will continue from Shea Stadium in New York with a score. The Jets 7, our Dolphins nothing. Joe Namath ready to go to work. First down for the Jets at their 20-yard line. They lead 7-0 with 3:59 to go in the first quarter. Namath takes the pass, left throws to his left side, and Barkham makes the catch on the ball. Namath was decked, and he was really cracked by Manny Fernandez. Jim Dunaway cut the pass off and making the reception on the play and out of bounds. Apparently, it was incomplete. Put the ball out of bounds, Barkham did, so it's second down and 10. Namath brings his ball club out of the huddle. The ball at the Jets 20-yard line. Barkham splits off to the far side, Maynard to the near side. Cliff McLean and John Riggins are the splitbacks in behind Namath. Now Riggins sets in tight. Here's the handoff to McLean over the right side. He puts his head down and rams his way to the 23 before he is really cracked by Manny Fernandez. Let's pause here for station identification on the Miami Dolphins Football Network.
Drive a new and different car every 6 months. William Lehman Leasing makes it possible. Call William Lehman Leasing for details.
WIOD Miami.
Gain of about 4 that time. It'll be third down and 6. The ball at the Dolphins are at the Jets 24-yard line. Out of the lineup comes Jim Dunaway and Mike Colin, and Lloyd Mumford has gone in, along with Bob Matheson. And the Dolphins prevent defense. Third and 6. Jets ball at their 24-yard line. Namath sets his ball club. Barkham and Maynard are the wide receivers. Joe back to throw. He has time. Swings the screen out. It is caught by Riggins, and he is tackled at the 25-yard line before he can get the corner turn on the far side of the field by middle linebacker Nick Bonacani. So it's only a gain of a yard, and it'll bring up a punting situation. The Dolphins will get the football back. As coming in to handle the punting charge will be Steve O'Neill, whose average on the season is a 40.2. He's a good high kicker, gets the ball up there, and hangs it up. Charlie Lee goes back as the deep man to field the kick. Line of scrimmage, the Jets 25, and O'Neill stands back at the 10. Dick Anderson is the shallow man for the Dolphins. Gets out in front, 7-0. Here's the snap, a little bit high, pulls it down, gets it out of there, and boom's a beauty. A nice high spiral, hangs it up. Anderson makes a fair catch for the Dolphins at our 43-yard line. So we will begin to operate from that position. A kick of 33 yards, and he hung it up there. Dick Anderson, the short man, made the reception on the fair catch. There is a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action continues from Shea Stadium in New York with a score of the Jets 7, the Dolphins nothing. Rick Weaver back at Shea Stadium in New York. The Dolphins have a first down at our 43-yard line. Kick and Zonka, the split back, Woolley and Warfield, the wide receivers. Hand off the kick. Here comes the sweep to the left side. Cuts to his right. Gets the block and gets up to the 45-yard line. And that's all. John Elliott, who has done a great job in diagnosing running plays for the Jets so far in the ballgame, makes the stop. Scores of other games. First period, New England 7, Buffalo 3. First quarter, Denver 7, Cincinnati nothing. First quarter, KC 7. Cleveland nothing. First quarter, the Giants 7, New Orleans nothing. First quarter, Detroit 3, Atlanta nothing. Our second down at 8. Dolphins football at our 45. Woolley switch to the far side. Kick and Zonka. The split backs, and now kick comes in motion and will set as a wide receiver to the near side. Second down at 8. Dolphins from our 45. Greasy drops the throw, fires the middle, caught by Woolley at the 40-yard line in Jets territory and knocked down right there. Woolley breaking off the far side, planted into the middle. And Chris Parasopoulos, the weak safety, makes the tackle on the play. So Greasy completes his second pass of the afternoon. The Dolphins pick up their third first down at the Jets' 40-yard line. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Rick, I think that Bob's funny that if you put you set a man back there in the backfield and then put him out in motion, you'll really mess up this defense. This means you've got to put in all sorts of variations with linebackers covering these backs.
Woolley splits to the right side of the field. Kick and Zonka are in the eye. Behind Greasy, first down from the Jets' 40-yard line. On the snap, handoff on the trap. Konka rams the middle, gets about 4. Down to the 36-yard line before he is tackled by a host of green jerseys. Just a gorgeous day for football here. John Ebersole, the middle linebacker, makes the tackle. Henry
Rick, we've noticed that there are a number of places on this field where they've sodded the old baseball field where there are squares of sod that come up and have to be replaced every time somebody runs on them, and they've had a number of occasions where that has happened.
Dolphins have a second down and 6 at the Jets 36. We have 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. Jets leading by a score of 7-0. Warfield splits to the near side, Twilly to the far side. Reese fakes the handoff. Play action. He's plenty of time. Fires the middle. Warfield got it down to the 15, down to the 11-yard line. Goes Paul Warfield. As Reese off the play action brought the defense up. Had plenty of time to throw, and Warfield slanting in the middle caught it. They knock him down at the 12-yard line. So that is a first down, a pickup of 25 yards, 24 yards on the pass completion from Greasy to Paul Warfield. And there is the end of the first quarter. Dolphin football action continues from Shea Stadium in New York with the score. The Jets 7, our Dolphins nothing. Dolphins fall at the Jets 12 as they're moving toward the south end, right down in front of us now. Warfield and Twilly, wide receivers, kick a slot man to the right. The handoff goes to Zonka. Here's the sweep. He is tackled. And a flag goes down at the 15-yard line. Larry Little was out in front of him that time. And somebody broke through. Ralph Baker, number 51, the left linebacker, is the fellow who's in on top of him. And we're going to get a clipping call against Miami. The flag went down just as the play developed on the sweep for the right side. And this will hurt. The line of scrimmage, 12. The flag was tossed at about the 15-yard line. So that sets the ball back to the Jets 27. And the Dolphins, instead of a first down and 10, will have a first and 25 from the Jets 27. Henry?
And they're going to call that clipping play on Jim Langer.
Bob Greasy back in the huddle with his football team. Garo Yepremian did the unbelievable a while ago. He missed 2 field goal attempts, a penalty. Nullified the first one that he missed. He had a second opportunity and hit the right upright. These things will happen to the best of kickers. Warfield switched to the far side. Fully comes to the near side. First and 25. Dolphins at the Jets 27-yard line. Kick and Parker in the eye. Greasy drops the throw. He fires deep. Warfield had fallen down and the pass is incomplete at the 2-yard line. Breaking in on top of Greasy as he released the ball was right tackle John Elliott, who got in and perhaps forced him to throw the ball a little high. Warfield, the intended receiver, had slipped and fallen down. And Farasopoulos, the weak safety for the Jets, was the closest man to it, and he couldn't catch up to it in the far corner of the field at the 2-yard line. So it'll be a second down at 25. Greasy has put the ball in the air 6 times, and has completed 3 for a total of 62 yards. Dolphins with a second and 25 at the Jets 27-yard line. Warfield is a wide man to the left, kicking Zonka in the eye, in behind Greasy. Bob on the snap, pitches to kick, sweep to the left. He's at the 25, down to the 20. Dragon tacklers with him inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. Middle linebacker Al Atkinson, number 62, 8-year veteran from Villanova, is the man who dragged him down. A good pickup by Kick that time. As he rambles he picked up 22 yards in 5 carries, and he gets it down to the 16-yard line. It'll be a third down coming up and 14, a pickup of 11 yards on the carry.
John Elliott is a real asset to that defensive line. Last week against Houston, he was out there for a little while, and they really hurt.
All right, the ball at the 16-yard line. The Dolphins need to move it to the 2 to get a first down. Warfield left, Fully to the near side. Greasy on the snap. Third down play. He drops the fire. He fires. Fully, touchdown. Great catch. Howard Twilly caught the ball. Steve Cannon was the defensive back. And Twilly, he was going at top speed right at the goal line, was off balance, and Greasy really laid it in there to him, and the Dolphins are right back in the ball game. Yepremian in to try the points, and Morrow will hold.
That Twilly still has the best hands in the league, Rick. Boy, he really had that ball right there in his palm. Perfect catch.
Morrow will hold. Garrow can tie it up with this try. Here's the kick. It's up. And it is good. With 13 minutes and 57 seconds left to go in the second quarter, Dolphin football action continues from Shea Stadium in New York with the score. Our Dolphins 7 and the Jets 7. Rick Weaver, Luke Riekmer, Henry Barrow back at New York City. Yepremian preparing to kick off. Farasopoulos and Hicks, the deep men. That drive, 7 plays, 57 yards. The elapsed time, 3:23. Greasy to Howard Twilly, his first touchdown pass reception of the year, 16 yards, and the Dolphins are right back in it, 7-7 tie. That's Greasy's 4th TD pass of the season. Parasopolis, number 19, deep down the near side. Hicks, 33 off to the far side. The kick is high. It is not deep. There will be a run back. Hicks from the 2, 5, 10, up to the 15, and he is cracked across the 15 and knocked off his feet at the 19-yard line. Hubert Ginn made the stop on the play. Henry?
Rick, we found out that Marlon Briscoe injured a thigh muscle in the pregame warm-ups. They don't know how bad it is. They'll wait to check later, but he is packed in ice, as we told you earlier.
All right, they put it down at the 20-yard line, so it's an 18-yard return for Hicks, and Roger Finney is now playing at offensive left guard. Miami boy from Florida A&M. For the Jets, Namath brings his ball club out. He'll start 80 yards away. Score tied 7-7, 13:29 left to go in the first half. Riggins and McLean are the split backs. In behind Namath. He sets his ball club. On the snap, quick out. Pass is incomplete, intended for Barkham, the wide receiver on the near side, and it was underthrown. Namath, thus far, has thrown the football 7 times, has completed 5 passes for 34 yards. And the Dolphins' pass defense giving it up grudgingly. 2nd down and 10 coming up. As the Dolphins insert Bob Matheson on the prevent defense, along with Lloyd Mumford, as Dunaway and Cohen come out. Barkham to the near side, Maynard off to the far side. Riggins and McLean are the split backs. 2nd down and 10. Jets ball from their 20-yard line. Namath, the long count, sets his ball club. On the snap, hands off. Here is McLean through a hole on the left side, across the 25, up to the 30-yard line. He had a hole big enough for a tank to go through that time. First down for the Jets. He just got enough yardage for a first down.
That's a danger, Rick, with that prevent defense. With just those 3 men up there in the line, why you leave a heck of a hole between that man over the middle and the man to your right side, and that's exactly where he went.
Barkham and Maynard split off to the far side this time. Castor is the strong side tight end to the left side. Riggins and McLean, the split backs behind Namath. First down, Jets at their 30-yard line. Here is the handoff. Riggins cuts outside. He is caught, drags the tackler with him to the right, and is knocked down at the 35. Gain of about 5. Vern Denherter, the Dolphins' fine second-year defensive left end, made the stop. They put it down at the 34, so we'll call it a gain of 4. It'll be a 2nd down and 6. Namath took the opening kickoff, marched his ball club down to the Dolphins' 1-yard line. McLean fumbled, and Rasmussen, the left guard, recovered in the end zone for the Jets touchdown. And Bob Greasy threw a 16-yard TD pass here to open the second quarter to Howard Pulley, and it's tied up 7-7. On the snap, here's the handoff to Riggins. Big hole left side, 40, 45, up to the 48-yard line. Goes John Riggins, the AFC's leading rusher, and that's good for a first down. Manny Fernandez and Doug Swift finally brought him down at the Jets' 47-yard line. Riggins with great balance. He is fast for a big guy. About Zonka's size at 6'2", 233, and played his college ball at the University of Kansas. Riggins has carried 6 times for 36 yards. Maynard splits to the far side along with big Jerome Barkham. Castor is a wide man to the near side. Riggins and McLean set in the eye behind Namath. First down, Jets at their 47. Now they split off. McLean to the right, Riggins to the near side. Joe drops the throw, has time, fires the out pattern, knocked away. Beautiful defensive play by cornerback Tim Foley. At the Dolphins' 42-yard line on the far side, it was intended for Don Maynard, and Foley timed his leap at the last moment and deflected the ball out of bounds. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. The Jets with the football at their 47-yard line. This game has not been as explosive as one would have anticipate. Mumford comes in, replaces Cohen in the Dolphin defense. 2nd and 10, Jets from their 47. Maynard spreads to the far side, Barkham to the near side. Riggins and McLean are the split backs. Now Riggins sets in tight behind Namath. Namath hands off to Riggins, out to the left side, takes the tackle at the 50 to the 45, and knocked out of bounds in Dolphins territory at the 43-yard line by right cornerback Curtis Johnson. They slant off beautifully as Riggins has run that play. Namath and Riggins have teamed up to run it, along with the blocking from the left side of the offensive line this afternoon, and they're getting excellent yardage on it. The officials have taken a timeout to measure for the yardage for the first down. The ball is placed down here on the near sideline at the Dolphins' 43-yard line. Remember, airtime next week from the Orange Bowl on WIOD in Miami and these network stations for the San Diego Chargers will be at 12:50. We have 11:05 to go in the first half of this game. First down, Jets by the nose of the ball. And the score is tied 7-7. Mumford comes out, and Colin goes back in the Dolphins' defensive alignment. The ball is at the Dolphins' 43-yard line. The Jets have an excellent running game, and McLean and Riggins have proven that thus far this afternoon. Riggins 7 carries, 46 yards. McLean 5 carries, 24 yards. Maynard splits off the far side. A flat man right, and now here comes Castor, the tight end, splitting to the near side. Riggins and McLean split out of the eye as the split back. From the Dolphin 43, Namath, the quick out to the near side, and Castor drops the ball. He turned around and tried to run down the sidelines with it before he found the handle. Mike Cullen, the weak side linebacker, the defender on the play, but Castor just couldn't hold on to it.
Rick, Joe Namath is really probing this 5-3 defense. He's doing everything possible to find out what sort of coverage he's going to get from those linebackers. That was a good example when Castor split to the left. He found out that Colin stayed in there, didn't go out with him. That's who he threw the ball to.
Second down and 10. Jets from the Dolphins 43. The score is tied 7-7. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Maynard and Barkham are wide receivers to the right side. Castor splits off the near side. Namath up under center. Now sets his back. McLean to the left and Riggins to the right side. Now he sets his offensive line. He fakes the handoff. Play action. He drops the throw. Firing deep down in the right corner. It is going to be intercepted at the 15 to the 20, 25, 30. Jake Scott. He is really up under the 35. Fumbles the ball. Who's got it? Dolphins. Listen to the crowd. Jake Scott picked the pass off back at the 10-yard line, ran it out to the 35. He was hit, fumbled the ball, and Dick Anderson recovered it. So the Dolphins have it at our 35. Vias is the man who really upended Scott.
Rick, we've got to give some credit to that interception to Bill Stanfield. Bill Stanfield harassed Namath to the point that he threw the ball up in the air. That brought about the interception.
Listen to this crowd. Dolphins first down at our 35 as Jake Scott intercepts Namath. Here's the end around. Flanker with Warfield carrying. Gets the block. 35, 40. Fumbles the ball. It's loose. Who's got it? Dolphins. Holy Toledo at the 48-yard line. Warfield on a flanker around, coming from the far side to the near side. He was hit, fumbled the football, and Warfield covered it himself. John Little is the man who tackled him, but the Dolphins pick up a first down, 13 yards, out to our 48-yard line. They are hitting. They are really cracking. That tackle by Vias on Scott on the pass interception was as hard as you'll ever want to see. He went flying end over elbows. Fully and Warfield split off the far side. First down, Dolphins at our 48-yard line. Here's Greasy. Hand off to Mercury Morris. Puts his head down, rams the middle, and gets across the 50 in the Jets territory at the New York 49-yard line. Mark Loomis, the 3-year veteran defensive right end, makes the tackle. Along with Rich Fowles, who's now come in the ball game at a cornerback, replacing Steve Cannon for the Jets. Ball at the Jets 49. It'll be a second down and 7. Dolphins in possession. Score tied 7-7. 9-12 left to go in this contest. In this first half, Philly and Warfield are double wide receivers to the far side. Morris and Zonka, the split backs, in behind Greasy. Greasy drops the throw. He fires for Warfield on the trick at Philly on the out pattern, and he's got it out of bounds on the far side of the field at the Jets 38-yard line. The tackle by Early Thomas. And that is good for another Dolphins first down.
That was an excellent job on that pass blocking by that offensive line of Miami, Rick. They cut down everybody so that Bob Greasy had a clear shot, could see all of the coverage down there downfield.
First down for the Dolphins at the Jets 38-yard line. Philly has caught 3 passes for 44 yards, a 16-yarder for a touchdown. Steve Cannon has come back in the ball game at a cornerback spot now, and he's on Twilly in the Jets man-for-man coverage. Morris and Zonka the I-back. In behind Greasy. First down at the Jets 38. Here's the pitch to Merck. The sweep to the left side. He does not get the corner turn. He has run out of bounds on the far side of the field. And into the Jets bench over there. Mark Lomas ran him out along with the right side linebacker, Larry Grantham. He might have gotten a yard, but that's all. So the 37 It'll be a second down and 9 coming up. Warfield and Pulley, the wide receivers. Marv Fleming, the tight end. Reese, the quarterback. Morris and Zonka, the running back. Henry?
Mercury having words with some of the Jets over there on the sideline till Larry Little pulled him back onto the field.
They put the ball at the 36, so give them a gain of 2. It'll be a second down coming up, and 8 yards to go for a first down. Warfield splits left, Pulley to the near side. Morris and Zonka, the split backs in behind Greasy from the Jets' 36-yard line. Bob, play action, fakes the handoff, drops the throw. He's firing deep. It is knocked away. Intended for Warfield down at the 5-yard line. An excellent defensive job by right cornerback Ole Thomas, and he had him covered like a blanket. They both went up in the air for the pass, and Thomas knocked it away and decked Warfield at the 5 at the same time. Jim Kick comes in, replacing Morris in the Dolphins' backfield. It'll be a third down and 8. Dolphins football at the Jets' 36-yard line. We have 8 minutes, 43 seconds to play in this first half. The score is tied, 7-7. Buffalo has gone ahead of New England, 10-7 in the second quarter. Detroit 6, Atlanta 3 in the second period. The rest of them, as we gave them to you earlier. Warfield to the far side. Pulley to the near side on third down and 8 from the Jets' 36-yard line. Reese drops the throw. He steps. He fires. It is intended for Fleming, knocked away and almost intercepted at the 30-yard line. Intended for the tight end, Marv Fleming. Gus Holloman is the man who almost picked it off. Great defense on the pass by the supposedly weak Jets.
Bob's getting all sorts of time out there, Rick, but it's just like you say, that defensive secondary is really doing an excellent job getting that hand in there, get that ball away from the receiver.
All right, Garrow in to try a field goal. He missed 2 attempts earlier, although we'll go down the record book as only one official missed because of a penalty that was involved. A 43-yarder from straight out in front, kicking to the south end. Morrow will hold. The snap set down. The kick is up. And this time it is no good. Off to the right. He had the distance, but for the third time this afternoon, it is no good. So the Jets will start from their 20-yard line. There is a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action continues from Shea Stadium in New York. With the score, our Dolphins 7, the Jets 7. Rick Weaver back at Shea Stadium in New York. Matt Snell, who was one of the great stars of the '69 Super Bowl, is now in the running back, along with McClain. He's in there replacing Riggin. Jets ball, first down at their 20-yard line. Here is Namath. The handoff goes to McClain. He hits the right side, and he gets no place. He is smothered at the 20-yard line. Manny Fernandez and Vern Denherter were waiting for him, and they played wishbone. No gain on the play. It'll be second down and 10. Jets ball from their 20-yard line. Here comes Mumford and Matheson in on the Dolphins' prevent defense. Snell goes out, and John Riggins comes in. We have 8:08 to go in the first half. Score tied 7-7. Garo Yepremian missing 2 official field goal attempts, actually 3. Maynard, Markham are the wide men to the far side. Riggins and McClain, the splitbacks, and Rich Castor, the tight end, splits off to the near side of the field. Second and 10. Jets from their 20-yard line. That interception for Scott on Namath's pass, the last sequence, was his second. Here's the handoff going to Riggins. He's going to lose a yard. The Dolphins rush defense waiting for that one also. And they'll put it down just inside the 20-yard line. Tackled by Manny Fernandez and Bill Stanfield.
Manny Fernandez made a tackle there that he just loves to make. Just had him waiting for him. Wrapped his arms around him and threw Riggins for that loss.
They put the ball down at the Jets' 19. Third down, 11. For New York, the ball at their 19-yard line. 7-7 is the score. The Jets scoring the first time they had the ball. McClain fumbled on a carry from the 1-yard line, but Rasmussen, the left guard, recovered for the touchdown in the end zone. And Greasy took his ball club down to open the second quarter and hit Pulley with a 16-yard touchdown pass. Waiting for the snap. Here is Namath to throw, being rushed. Flag is down. Here's the pass, overthrown, intended for Castor, incomplete along the near sideline. But there's a flag down on the play.
Miami defense figured he's going to throw the ball on that, Rick, and they really came barreling in there.
Illegal motion is the call against the Jets.
Illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure is the call, declined by Miami, since it'll bring up the fourth down and a punting situation. So Charlie Lee comes in as the deep man. Dick Anderson will be the shallow man. 6 minutes, 53 seconds to go in this first half. The line of scrimmage, the Jets 19, and Steve O'Neill, who has kicked for 33 yards this afternoon, will be the punter. And he stands back for New York 5-yard line. This has been a dogfight up front, both offensively and defensively, both sides. Here's the snap, gets a good rush, Gets a wobbly end-over-end kick, short down the near side, and it's going to roll out of bounds. Let's see where they're going to mark it in Dolphins territory at about the 38-yard line. He got a tremendous rush that time as the Dolphins had the block on. Let's pause for station identification on the Miami Dolphins Football Network.
Your best bet for a beautiful Buick is at William Lehman Buick, the dealer you can believe in. William Lehman Buick, 163rd Street in North Miami Beach.
WIOD Miami.
This is Rick Weaver with Henry Barrow and Lou Kriegler back at beautiful New York City today. The temperature in the 70s. Just a gorgeous afternoon for football, and the fans expecting a high-scoring game haven't seen it yet. It's been a tight one. It's tied 7-7. Henry?
I'm sure Lou can see it much better than I can from up there, but it appears to me that the Dolphins have, on the last couple of defensive series, been varying the assignments on that 53 defense, which had Namath confused. That he was reading that defense beautifully the first few times he got the ball, and now they're changing up a bit.
That's the great advantage of that 53 defense, Henry. You can vary it as much as you want. You can have either the onside linebacker come in, who in this case would be Matheson, or the offside man. They can really vary it. They've started.
That punt by O'Neill that went out of bounds, 43 yards. So the Dolphins will start operating from our 38-yard line with Greasy at quarterback, Twilley, who has played all the way, and Warfield as the wide receivers, Fleming the tight end, and Jim Kick, and Larry Zonk will be the running back. Thus far, Zonk has carried 3 times for 10 yards, Kick 5 times for 22, Morris 2 times for 5, and Warfield on that flanker around 1 time for 13 yards. Greasy has hit 5 out of 10, including a TD pass of 16 yards to Howard Twilley. Dolphins unable to get into the end zone for touchdowns this afternoon, except on one occasion. Here's the trap play, handoff coming to Zonka, pulls his way across the right side, gets out to about the 41. Tackled by Al Atkinson, the middle linebacker. And the Jets' underrated defense has held the Dolphins, and Garo Yepremian has not been able to convert field goal attempts this afternoon. That's why the score is 7-7. The Dolphin defense has handled the Jets offense since that opening drive. Here is Twilley, splitting off to the near side. On a 2nd down and 7, Dolphins ball at our 41. Warfield splits to the far side. Kick and Zonka, the split backs behind Greasy. On the snap, Greasy drops the throw, firing for Warfield. Far side, he makes the catch and runs it out of bounds at the 50-yard line. He is run out by right cornerback Early Thomas, and he and Warfield have really been having a set to this afternoon. That is good for a Dolphin first down at the midfield stripe.
Warfield really worked on Thomas on that play. With this man-for-man, Paul is really enjoying it, and he came out there and just about unclothed Thomas. And Thomas, just not to be outdone, as Paul went off out of bounds, tripped him so that he'd fall flat on his face.
All right, Twilley is the wide man to the near side. He's not split but more than a couple of yards. Kick and Zonka, the I-backs, in behind Greasy. First down, Dolphins from the 50-yard line. Here's the handoff. Kick going inside. Finds a hole, puts his head down, and gets to the 46-yard line. Before he is tackled, gain of about 4 on the play. Tackled by middle linebacker Al Atkinson. It'll be a 2nd down and 6. Dolphins football at the Jets' 46-yard line. In case you joined us late, the Namath team took the opening kickoff and marched it down with Joe leading, and McLean carried in, but he fumbled the ball, and Randy Rasmussen, the left guard, fell on it for the Jets' only score. Warfield splits left, fully to the near side. 2nd and 6 at the Jets' 46-yard line. Greasy hands off to Zonka. Trap play, puts his head down. Greg Tackler's with him inside the 40-yard line. Mark Lomas, the defensive right end, along with left linebacker Ralph Baker, were the fellows who got a free ride that time. They put it down at the 39, and that is good for another Miami first down for the Dolphins. 9 first down. The Jets unofficially have 8.
I'm sure that Mark Lomas must wonder, what about this Zonka? Zonka drug him for at least 3 or 4 yards.
The ball at the Jets' 39-yard line. It's Greasy going into a ball control routine now. Has eaten up the clock on this drive. First down at the Jets' 39. Play action. He fakes the handoff. Drops deep to throw. Fires to Fleming. Wide open. He's got a 35, 30. Gets outside and cannot shake a tackler. He is down at the Jets' 28-yard line. That'll be good for a first down. Larry Grantham, the pint-sized right side linebacker who weighs only 210 but is as quick as Grease Lightning, made the tackle on the play. Marv Fleming, a tight end, wide open in the middle, and moved to the far side of the field. First down, Dolphins at the Jets' 28-yard line. That's the second pass Marvin has caught this afternoon. Greasy now 7 for 12, 110 yards through the air. First down at the Jets' 28-yard line. Clock moving with 4:15 left to go in this first half. Score tied 7-7. Warfield to the far side, fully to the near side. Here's a handoff to Kick. Sweep to the right. Cuts back to his left. Gets to the 25 to the 24-yard line. Jim Kick, the ball carrier. He's had a lot of activity this afternoon. John Little made the stop on the play. Jim's family here from Lincoln Park, New Jersey, watching the activity. He's carried 7 times unofficially for 30 yards.
Marv is really doing a great job there when he's coming up the blocking, too, Rick. He did a fine job on Jerry Philbin on that last play.
The ball at the Jets' 24-yard line. 3:42 left to go in the first half. Score tied 7-7. A second down and 6 for the Dolphins at the Jets' 24. Warfield splits far side, fully to the near side. Kick and Zonka split backs behind Greasy. Bob up under center. Barks the signals, waits for the snap. Here it is. He drops straight to throw. He fires the middle. Overthrown, incomplete. Warfield was triple covered that time, and he was 5 yards behind where the ball landed. Incomplete. Gus Holloman was the principal defender on him.
Bob got a little greedy on that one. Actually, Marv Fleming was open again.
Otto Stowe, the second-year man, number 82, 6'2", 188, comes into the wide receiver as they bring Fleming out. And now the Dolphins insert 3 wide receivers, Pulley, Stowe, and Warfield. A third down and 6 at the Jets' 24-yard line. Dolphins offense having trouble getting into the end zone this afternoon. 7-7 is the score. Pulley lines up now. The far side of the field. Warfield slot man left. Stowe wide to the near side. Greasy back to throw on third down. Gets a mighty rush. Throws to the near corner. It's caught by Stowe at the 11. 10. He's down to the 6-yard line. Otto Stowe wide open. Down the near side. Greasy looked left and fired to Stowe, who was wide open down the near side. Good for a first down. Al Atkinson, the middle linebacker, dropping back, made the tackle. A first and goal at the Jets' 6-yard line.
And that offensive line really put to the test everybody knowing that Bob was going to throw that ball. They kept them out and gave them all the time to make that completion.
Stowe and Twilley come out. Mandich goes in, and the Dolphins now have 2 tight ends in the ball game, Mandich and Fleming. A first and goal at the 6-yard line. Otto Stowe with a big reception that time. The Jets have put in Ed Gallagher on their goal line defense. He's a rookie tackle from UCLA. They set in tight with Warfield as a wingman right. Here's the handoff, the kick through a hole on the right side, down to 2 to 1. He is in for the score. Jim Kick over the right side, 6 yards, and he gets his second touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins, for the first time, take the lead in this ball game as Garrow is in to try the point from placement, and Morrow will hold. 2 minutes and 32 seconds left to go before the end of the half. Lou Kriegler will have some interesting halftime guests for you. Here's the snap, set down, the kick is up, and it is good. So with 2 minutes and 32 seconds left to go in the first half of play, the Dolphins are out in front by a score of 14-7. Mercury Morris and Charlie Lee will go back at the north end zone to receive the opening kickoff in the second half from right-footed sucker-style kicker Bobby Howfield. Lee, number 23, off to the far side. Morris, who led the AFC in kickoff returns last year, number 22 down the near side. Here is the whistle, a low sliver. It is grabbed by Bob Matheson, the Dolphin blocking wall at the 23, 25. He's at the 30. He's up across the 35 and gets out to the 38-yard line. That's one of the reasons that Matheson is on that blocking wall. Even though he is 6'4", weighs 240, plays linebacker and defensive end in the 53 defense, he was a running back at Duke University, and he can carry the mail. Henry?
A lot of wind gusting down here on the field now. It's picked up, I'd say, about 20 miles an hour in wind gusts down here on the field.
15-yard return on the kickoff by Bob Matheson. Dolphins have a first down at our 38-yard line starting the second half. Bob Greasy is the quarterback. Zonka is a setback in behind him. And Kick is a wingman off to the left side. Here is the pitch going to Zonka. Sweep to the right, gets to the 40, 45, across the 50, and then into Jets territory, belted out of bounds at the 49-yard line by Larry Grantham. Jim Kick was deployed to the far side of the field, and carrying that time was Larry Zonka for a Dolphins first down. Zonka, 13 yards. Last year in this ball game here, he and Kick really turned it loose for 100-yard-plus performances. And Larry is the number 2 rushing back in the conference going into this ball game behind John Riggin this afternoon. Warfield splits to the far side. To the near side is Twilly. Here is the handoff going to Zonka. Cuts in over the left side on the slant and gets to about the 46-yard line before he is upended by left tackle John Little, a 3-year veteran from Oklahoma State, and middle linebacker Al Atkinson. Ball is down at the Jets' 46-yard line, and it'll be a second down coming up and 8 yards to go for the Dolphins. Dolphins scoring 14 points in the second quarter have completely shut off Joe Namath and the Jets offense since the opening drive of the ball game. Warfield to the left, Twilly to the near side. Chicken Tonka split Paxton behind Greasy. 2nd and 8 from the Jets' 46-yard line. Greasy drops to throw. He's going to the near sideline. Overthrown, incomplete at the 40-yard line on a turnout to Howard Twilly. Just threw it high. It'll be a third down and 8 coming up. Greasy in the first half was 10 for 19, including 1 touchdown pass. Jim Mandich comes in at tight end, replacing Marv Fleming for the Dolphins. Mandich, a youngster from Michigan who has done such a great job and caught that winning touchdown pass against the Vikings last week. Dolphins having a little problem getting on track offensively for a lot of points against a Jet defense that has been porous up until this ball game. This has been a defensive struggle on both sides. Third down and 8 from the Jets' 46. Greasy drops to throw, has time, looks right, now looks left, fires the middle. It is caught by Twilly inside the 30. He is knocked down at the Jets' 27-yard line. Howard Twilly coming across the middle as Greasy looked right, looked left, and then moved a couple of steps to his left and found Twilly open in the middle. Steve Cannon, who has the responsibility on Twilly, made the tackle, but too late. A first down for the Dolphins at the Jets' 27-yard line. A 19-yard pass completion to Howard Twilly.
And Rick, the ordinary count on getting the ball away is about a 2 or 3 second count. He must have had a good 10 on that, and Twilly kept moving around and got himself open.
Mercury Morris comes into the Dolphins' offensive backfield, replacing Jim Chick. First down at the Jets' 27. Here's the handoff to Merck. Sweep to the right. Looks for the hole. Cuts back to his left, and he is upended at the 25-yard line. A gain of only 2. Gus Holloman, the strong safety, made the tackle.
What a beautiful block by Larry Little on that play. He just about buried Steve Cannon.
The ball is at the Jets' 25. A gain of 2. It'll be second down at 8. We are in the third period. 12 minutes, 35 seconds left to go. Dolphins on the move. Started this drive from their 38-yard line. Lead 14-7. Warfield splits left. Plays to the near side. Morris and Zonka, the split backs behind Greasy. From the Jets' 25-yard line. On the snap, Bob drops to throw. He is firing for Warfield. He's got it and out of bounds on the far side of the field, right at the 20-yard line. He just slanted out and got inside cornerback Early Thomas, and Greasy hit him right on the button for a pickup of some 8 yards, and the ball is now at the Jets' 20-yard line. Well, it'll be a third down coming up and about 3. Let's check that yardage. 5-yard completion to Paul Warfield. Twilly has been the Dolphins' principal receiver this afternoon, he and Otto Stowe. Warfield splits to the far side. To the near side of Twilly. It's a third down and 3 situation at the Jets' 20. A big play for Greasy on this particular call. 3rd and 3 from the Jets' 20. He drops to throw. He has time, firing in the end zone. Incomplete, overthrown, intended for Warfield. And so it gives Garo Yepremian a chance to come in and try another field goal. Early Thomas is back there covering on the play. Yepremian officially has missed 2 field goal attempts. Actually, it's been 3. He took the ball twice and hit the right upright twice. And if you joined us late, a penalty on a missed field goal attempt in the first half allowed him a second opportunity, and he missed that one too. This is a 27-yard attempt. Straight in, down here at the south end. Morrow will hold. Here's the snap. Set down, the kick is up. He's got more than the distance, and it's perfect. With 12 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in the third quarter, Dolphin football action continues from Shea Stadium in New York with the score, our Dolphins 17, the Jets 7. That drive, 42 yards, consumed 2 minutes, 56 seconds, 7 plays. Yepremian a 27-yard field goal, and the Dolphins lead 17-7. Here's Garrow forward, gets the kickoff high. There will be a run back. Parasopoulos grabs it at the 2, out to the 5, the 10, across to the far side of the 15, a flag down. He is going to be belted out of bounds across the 20 and about the 25. There's a flag thrown back at the 17-yard line. And it's going to be a clipping call against New York. Tackle on the play over there on the Dolphins specialty team made by Hubert Ginn. Beginning on Tuesday night of this week and continuing in perpetuity on our Rick Weaver Talk Sports Show at 8 o'clock on WIOD every night. But Tuesday nights in particular for special team awards. We're starting to give with WIOD in Miami a Dolphins Special Team Award, and we'll have all of the players retroactive on this season on our show Tuesday night. The penalty sets the ball back to the 9-yard line. Steve Harkey and Cliff McLean are the running backs, and this is where the Jets will start from after that slipping infraction. Namath has been decked a couple of times this afternoon, taken up on one play. Barkham is split to the far side. Check a caster to the far side. Barkham and Maynard to the near side. McLean and Harkey are the split backs. The Jets starting from their 9-yard line, moving from our right to our left. Here is Namath dropping short to throw, fires to the near corner, caught by Barkham at the 19, and he is dropped at the 20-yard line on a jolting tackle by cornerback Curtis Johnson. And that's good for a first down. They put it down at the 21, a 12-yard pickup as Namath on a turnout to the near side hits big Jerome Barkham, the rookie wide receiver, for a first down. That is 9 in the ball game for the Jets. And Namath has now thrown for 46 yards. First down for the Jets at their 21-yard line. McLean and Harkey are the split backs. In behind Joe Namath. He has a slot formation to the right side. Sets his ball club from the 21. Drops short to throw. Fires for the near sideline. It is caught and out of bounds with it is Caster, the tight end. He is run out by Curtis Johnson. Namath going to work on the corners now, trying to find a hole in this Dolphins defense. And they put the ball down at the 27. A 6-yard pickup. It'll be second down and 4. He is down by 10 points with 11 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the third quarter. Caster, that pass reception for him was his first of the ball game. Maynard splits to the far side. Barkham is a slot man right. Caster splits off to the near side. Harkey and McLean. Second down and 4. For the Jets from the 27. Back to throw. Namath. He swings one out. Caught by McLean at the 30. Far side. Eludes the tackler. Across the 35. It is knocked down at the Jets' 40-yard line. That's good for a New York first down. As he swung one out to McLean. Second man out of the backfield, and he eluded the tackler at the 35 and gets the first down up to the Jets' 40-yard line. Lloyd Mumford comes into the Dolphins defense, replacing linebacker Mike Cohen. First down for Namath and the Jets at their 40-yard line. He splits Barkham wide to the near side. Maynard is a slot man to the left side of the field. And now Caster moves out to the far side. McLean and Harkey set as split backs in behind Namath. Jets first down at their 40-yard line. Here's the give. Goes to Harkey. He slams across the left side, gets 2 to the 42-yard line. Before he, in turn, is slammed to the ground by the Dolphin defense. The man who got him was Tim Foley along with Manny Fernandez. Henry?
I think our defense will probably pick this up, but every time Lloyd Mumford has come in, the first play that Mumford's been in, Namath calls a running play, and usually to the left side.
A second down and 8. Jets ball at their 42-yard line. Dolphins lead in the third period, 17-7. 9:50 left to play in the third quarter. Barkham and Maynard are wide to the right side. Caster is to the near side. Out of the eye, they split the running backs, Harkey and McLean. From the Jets 42, here's the handoff to Harkey. Starts inside, cuts outside to the right, gets across the 45, and is knocked down at about the 48-yard line in Jets territory. Jerome Barkham threw a good block that time. Doug Swift and Nick Bonicani in on the stop for the Dolphins. They mark it at the Jets 48. And so Namath will come up with a third down and about 2 for the Jets at their 48. He started this drive back at their 9-yard line. Maynard splits right. To the near side is Barkham. McLean and Harkey are the split backs and behind Namath. 3rd and 2 for the Jets from their 48. Joe Spin hands to Harkey. He's tipped up for a loss back at the 45-yard line. A great play by Tim Foley, who came blitzing through there and flattened him out for a 3-yard loss. And a key play, since it was on third down, and it forces a punting situation now for the Jets. The ball at their 45, and O'Neill is in the punt. He'll stand at the 30-yard line. Foley coming in from the right cornerback spot. Flattening him out for a 3-yard loss. Charlie Lee is deep back at the Dolphins 10. Dick Anderson shallow at about the 30-yard line. Here's the snap to Steve O'Neill. He gets the punt out of there, a low trajectory spiral. Back Lee up. He grabs it at the 6. Starts out to the 10. He is going to be dropped at the 10-yard line. They will say his forward progress carried him to the 12. But down on punt coverage to do a good job was rookie Ed Gallagher. 49-yard punt by O'Neill.
Rick, that last series was a good example of why that 53 defense was put in. Really, we've been seeing so much of it. It was really working well.
There is a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action continues from New York with a score. Our Dolphins 17, the Jets 7. Rick Weaver has Greasy ready to go from our 12-yard line following O'Neill's 49-yard repunt, the 6-yard return. Here's the handoff, the kick trying to go to the left, and he's not going to get very far. Green jerseys all over him. As the fans down at the north end of the field applaud the Jets' defensive effort. Gus Holloman, the strong safety, was the man who led the defensive charge, and he lost about 5 yards as they put it down back at the 7-yard line. So it'll be a second down and 15 coming up. There's a score up on the board. Second quarter, San Diego leads Baltimore 14-0. Dolphins with a second down and 15 from their 7. Kick touches a wingman to the left side. Fully is split off the near side. Greasy up under center, barks the signals, waiting for the snap. Here's the handoff. Zonka carries in the middle, rams his way out across the 10. Out across the 15-yard line goes the bull, Larry Zonka. Ralph Baker and Larry Grantham got a free ride on the shoulders of Larry Zonka that time. They put it down right at the 15-yard line, and that will bring up a third down and about 6.
Larry Grantham blitzed on the play before this, Rick, and that's the way to keep him honest. If he's going to come blitzing on him, just run right over top of him.
Third down and 7 is the official call. Dolphins ball at our 15-yard line. Warfield splits to the far side, Fully to the near side. Kicking Zonka behind Greasy. Greasy takes the handoff, swings the pass out, intended to be a screen for Dick. He throws it way over his head, and it's incomplete. Jerry Philbin, the left end, was in on Bob, and perhaps forced him to throw the ball a little bit higher than he wanted. It was designed to be a screen to Kick off a delay and a play fake to the near side, and Kick had no chance for the football. So Stiple comes in to punt. Going back is the deep man, Chris Farasopoulos, number 19. W.K. Hicks, number 33, is the shallow man. Stiple will stand on the goal line. The line of scrimmage, the Dolphins 15. 6:52 to go in this third quarter. Dolphins lead 17-7. Here's the snap. Stiple gets it. A big rush. He booms it out of there. Gets a nice high trajectory kick. It is grabbed by Farasopoulos. Fair catch at the Jets. 47-yard line. And they really put a rush on Stipe that time. He gets a 39-yard punt out, but more importantly, he got it high enough to force a fair catch.
That was Steve Tannen back in there, Rick, trying his specialty. He had himself a great year last year blocking those punts.
Now the ball is moved to the 47, and that's where Namath will start to operate from. Excellent field position for Joe. 6:35 to play in the third quarter. Dolphins lead by a score of 17-7. Maynard and Barkham are the wide men to the right side. Castor is to the near side. Harkey and McLean are the split-backs in behind Namath from the Jets' 47-yard line. Joe sets the ball club. He drops the throw. He's being rushed. He fires deep down the middle. It is caught at the 5. Touch. Wait a minute. No touchdown. As Jake Scott came out of there with a football, Barkham caught it. As Namath went deep, he caught it at about the 20-yard line, and Scott was hanging all over him. And they ruled that he did not get into the end zone. He is down at the 1-yard line. Scott stole the ball from him, but the whistle had blown and the play had been blown dead at the 1-yard line. So Namath strikes deep on the first place in scrimmage, 52 yards to the big rookie Jerome Barkham, and the Jets have a first and goal down at the Dolphins' 1-yard line. That's how quickly the complexion of a football game can change with Namath as your quarterback. Now they've got the 2 tight ends in, Stewart and Castor, and 3 running backs, McLean, Snell, and Harkey are set in behind Namath. Namath sneaks the ball, and no indication from the officials as to whether he got in. There was no official indication. They on file, and he did not make it. Joe Namath trying to sneak for the touchdown on the quarterback sneak. They put the ball down at the 1-foot line. It will be second down and goal for the Jets at the Dolphins' 1-foot line. 5 minutes 5 seconds left to play in the third quarter. A 52-yard bomb from Namath to Jerome Barkham gave the Dolphins excellent field position. And here's Jim Dunaway trying to get in on the goal line defense. Can he make it in time? He does. Namath has the three backs set in behind him. He sets his ball club. Here's the handoff going to McLean. And he, as a scramble ensues down at the goal line, we still don't have an official touchdown signal. Tim Foley is the man who made the tackle on the play. McLean over the left side, he did make it. He's got the glasses on him. It's down, still at the 1 foot line. Out of the ball game goes Harkey. Third down and goal from the 1 foot line. Emerson Boozer has come in. He with McLean and Snell are the three setbacks in behind Namath. The handoff goes to Snell. He didn't make it, and there's a flag down. Bob Matheson is the man who rose up to flatten him out. There is a flag on the play, and it appears to be against the Jets. He really rammed into the center of that line, and Matheson about took his head off. A great goal line defense here for the Dolphins, and let's see what the penalty is for. A flag was thrown immediately. It is going to be against New York. Sets the ball back to just beyond the 5-yard line. Offside against the New York Jets. It will be a third down and goal to go from the Dolphins' 5.5-yard line. They break out of the huddle. Maynard right. Barkham to the near side. Boozer and Snell are the split backs in behind Namath. Third and goal from the Dolphins' 5.5-yard line. Waiting for the snap. Namath drops short to throw. Look, fires. It is dropped at the goal line. Incomplete. It was dropped by the tight end, Rich Castor. He had his hands on it. Jake Scott bumped him, and he fumbled the ball. He dropped it. Incomplete is the ruling, so it's a fourth down. And still goal for the Dolphins' 5.5-yard line. And they're sending in the field goal team, and you can hear the reaction of the fans. They had a touchdown there, had Castor been able to hold onto the ball. Mr. Scott did some talking and pushing and bumping around. Bobby Howfield, who was 5 for 7, has a total of 27 points. We'll try it from the 13-yard line. And Bob Davis is in the hole. What a great defensive effort by this Dolphins defense. Here is the snap. Set down. The kick is up. There's a flag on the play, and the kick is no good. Now let's see what the penalty is going to be. The kick is no good. Off to the right side. Illegal procedure against New York. Well, he signaled against the Jets. But against the Jets. And the kick was no good. At least that was the indication I got. So he'll try it over again. The ball is put down at the 18-yard line. Bobby Howfield with Davis holding. Here's the snap. Set down. The kick is up again. And this time he just gets it inside the upright. It is good. So with 3 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in the third quarter, the score now, our Dolphins 17, the Jets 10. Dolphin football action continues from Shea Stadium in New York in just a moment. All right, Rick, we were back at Shea Stadium. We just got an explanation on that penalty as to why the Jets were allowed to kick it over again. And we'll pass it along to you just the first opportunity we get. Howfield converts on an 18-yard field goal. A 5-play drive and 42 yards, consumed 2 minutes and 45 seconds. A great goal line stand by the Dolphins defense prevented something more disastrous than a field goal. Howfield preparing to kick off. Charlie Lee deep to the far side. Morris down the near side. Here is the kick. He gets it high. It is not deep. Morris will grab it at the 7, out to the 10, the 15, to the 20. He shakes the tackle, shakes another, cuts back to the near side. He may find a hole. He gets the blocking cord. 20, 25, up to the 30, 35, and he throws it to the ground at the Dolphins' 40-yard line. What a great return by Mercury Morris. He was contained on the far side of the field, going to his left a couple of times, and running laterally back to the near side, picks up a cordon of blockers, and returns it out to the Dolphins' 40-yard line, a 33-yard kickoff return. We'll give our stations a station break here in just a moment as the Dolphins quickly huddle, 3:32 to go in the third quarter. Swilly comes out. He is the wide receiver to the far side. Warfield sets the slot man to the left. Waiting for the snap. Here's the handoff on the counter play. Zonka, big hole left side, 45, up across the 50-yard line, and he's knocked off his feet right at the 50. That's close to a first down. Let's pause for station identification on the Miami Dolphins Football Network.
Join the winning team. William Lehman has sold more Buicks than any other dealer in the South. William Lehman Buick, 163rd Street and Biscayne Boulevard in North Miami Beach.
WIOD Miami.
Second down and a yard. His time is back in. The Dolphins, after Zonka rambles for 9.5, have the ball at the midfield stripe. Here is Greasy. He hands off. Kick goes inside over the left side and gets about 4 to the Jets' 46-yard line before he is tackled by Gus Holloman. And into the ball game on defense comes Ed Gallagher, the big rookie, number 85, 6'4", 255, replacing John Little at defensive left tackle for the Dolphins. The ball at the Jets' 46-yard line. First down for the Dolphins. Warfield spreads to the far side, Twilley to the near side. Reese up under center, waits for the snap. Hands off, Zonka on a trap into the middle, gets inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line before John Elliott makes the tackle on the play from the Jets defense. The ball is put down at the New York 44-yard line, and it'll be about a second down and 8. A minute and 53 seconds to go in this third quarter. The Dolphins leading by a score of 17-10. And out of the huddle comes Greasy with his football club. He switched Twilley to the far side. Warfield slot man left, kicking Zonka the eye back. In behind Greasy from the Jets' 44-yard line. On the snap, Bob fakes the play. Goes deep on the pass. Warfield got it 30 up the far sideline, 25 and out of bounds at the Jets' 20-yard line. Greasy with the play fake, threw the defense up and hit Warfield up the far sideline. Early Thomas and Chris Parasopoulos are the fellows who ran him out, and the Dolphins have a first down at the Jets' 20-yard line. Lou?
And Weave Eubank has really given Tannen a rough time over there at the sidelines. He's really chewing him out to make sure he covers these people.
Henry?
And Tannen, in turn, was chewing out the officials. He thought that Howard Twilley screened him out of that play illegally.
All right, Warfield out of the huddle is the wide man to the far side. Twilley put a couple of yards to the near side. Dolphins first down at the Jets' 20-yard line. Reese waits for the snap. Here it is. Spins, hands in the middle to kick. He bounces in there for just a yard before he's grabbed around one leg and halted at the 19-yard line by the left side linebacker, Ralph Baker. We have a minute and 15 seconds left to play in this third quarter. The Dolphins out in front 17-10, and a score of some kind here is imperative because even though we did have the good goal line defense down there just a moment ago, the Jets were forced to settle for the 18-yard field goal by Houfield. They are now within striking distance, and the score is 17-10. A second down and 9 at the Jets' 19-yard line. Reese drops straight back to throw. He fires deep for Warfield. It is knocked away in the end zone by Early Thomas. Warfield went to the far corner of the end zone down here at the south end of the field. Thomas got in front of him and deflected the pass away. So that'll bring up a third down and 9 from the Jets' 19-yard line.
Rick, that was just a beautiful job done there by Thomas. Poor Warfield really had Thomas beat, but Thomas recovered and he just wouldn't let him get to the ball.
Fleming comes out and Jim Mandich goes in to the Dolphins' offensive alignment at tight end. 43 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Dolphins with a 17-10 lead. The ball at the Jets' 19-yard line. Warfield flips to the far side. Twilley to the near side. Big play, third down and 9. Reese on the snap, drops the throw. He fires. It is knocked away from Howard Twilley. Interference is called on the Jets inside the 5-yard line. Covering on the play was Steve Tannen and Gus Holloman. And Tannen apparently is the guy on whom it was called because he's arguing the most violently with the officials. Willie and the defensive man both have a right to the football, but the ruling there is that Willie was hit and denied his progress path to the football, so the Dolphins have a first and goal on the pass interference call at the Jets 4.
And you're so right, Rick. The guy that really argues the loudest and really puts on the big show, he's usually guilty. He's just putting on a big show to overcome it.
That conceivably could have been a touchdown. Joe Jackson in on defense now for the Jets. Dolphins have the two tight ends in. First and goal at the Jets 4-yard line. Reese on the snap. Hands the kick. He threads his way into the middle and gets down to about the 3, and that's all. Before he is smothered by green jerseys, Al Atkinson, Larry Grantham. And they put the ball down at the 3-yard line. So it's a gain of a yard. Second down and goal for the Dolphins at the Jets 3. 19 seconds left to play in this third quarter. Dolphins out in front, 17-10. And a hard-nosed defensive football game. A big play for the Jets here in his second half was that 52-yard pass from Namath to Barkham. Dolphins with that power blocking unit set in tight, and there is the gun. That's the end of the third period. Dolphin football action will continue from Shea Stadium in New York with the score. Our Dolphins 17, the Jets 10. Warfield breaks out, and he will set as a wingman off the left side as they set in tight. Chick and Zonka, the split backs in behind Greasy. Waiting for the snap. Here's the handoff. Kick through the middle. He scores. Jim Kick, as the officials waited to make sure before they raised their hands, and Kick gets his second touchdown of the afternoon, as Ralph Baker was the man that they carried in with him. And he was close to not being in. Henry?
And Larry Zonka took out two guys in the goal post.
So the Dolphins now have a 23-10 lead. That drive, 60 yards, 9 plays, consumed 3:37. Garrow will try the point from placement with Morrill to hold. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is perfect. So the Dolphins now move to a 14-point lead again, 24-10. Ferrisopoulos and Hicks will be the deep men back to receive the kickoff of Garrow Eupremian. The Dolphins leading by a score of 24-10. Twilly on a 16-yard touchdown pass, and Jim Kick has scored twice on runs of 6 and 3 yards. Eupremian, a 27-yard field goal. And the Jets have gotten in on a long drive, the opening sequence, which McLean fumbled at the goal line, but left guard Randy Rasmussen recovered for the Jets in the end zone for the touchdown. And then they had to settle on an 18-yard outfield field goal, a great goal line stand with the Dolphins. Here's the kickoff. Hicks down the near side at the 4, up to the 5, the 10, across the 15 to the 20, and he is cracked out of bounds across the 25 at about the 27 or 28-yard line. W.K. Hicks, tackled by Charlie Lee on the Dolphins specialty team. So Namath will start from the Jets' 27-yard line, and he will have, operating as his running back, Steve Harkey, number 36, and Cliff McLean, number 42. They set on the eye. Barkham and Maynard are wide receivers split left, and the tight end Castor is wide to the near side. First down, Jets from their 27. Waiting for the snap. Here it is. Namath spins. Hands off. And there is a fumble on the play. Manny Fernandez is the man who made the hit. The carrier was Cliff McLean. Apparently the Jets came up with a football, and he made no yardage.
That was a bad handoff, Rick. Namath never did get the ball to that runner.
They put the ball down at the 28-yard line, so he did pick up a yard. It'll be second down and 9. All game is pretty much settled down into routine here in the final quarter. It's been a defensive battle all the way, and the Dolphins have been the dominant defensive team. Dolphins with a 24-10 lead, working on their 4th consecutive victory. Waiting for the snap. Namath drops to throw. Straight back. He's set. He fires. It is caught by Harkey across the 30 at about the 33-yard line, and he is down immediately by linebacker Doug Swift. The Dolphins were just about to break through on the pass rush and get the Namath that time, and he got rid of it and completes to Harkey up at the 33-yard line, a gain of 5. So that'll bring up a third down and about 4.
Rick, I'll tell you saw there, Den Herter came in there, and really he had a good shot at Joe. It would have been questionable whether or not he would have been called if he hit him, but he let up and he didn't take the shot. It would have been a cheap one if he had.
Castor splits off the far side. Maynard to the near side. Barkham is a slot man to the right. Running backs are Harkey and McLean. Namath from his 33 drops to throw. He fires in the middle. It is knocked away. Incomplete. Up at the 48-yard line. There were a couple of Jets there. Rich Castor and Jerry Barkham both were there, but the ball was knocked away by Tim Foley on a fine defensive play by the Dolphins secondary. Pass was thrown a little bit low. So that brings up a punting situation, and here comes O'Neill into the ball game once again. 13 minutes and 18 seconds remain to be played in this contest as the Dolphins have a 24-10 lead. Lee is the deep man to field the punt, and Dick Anderson is the shallow man. The line of scrimmage, the 33 in Jets territory. O'Neill standing back at about the 18. He gets the snap and booms a beauty out of there. Nice high spiral, hangs it up. Charlie Lee grabs it back at the Dolphin 18. Looks for Holmes. Gets to the 20. He's stripped of the ball, fumbles, and the Jets recover. Wayne Stewart, big tight end who is 6'7", is the man who came up with the football. Charlie Lee tried to run it back, got back to the 20. He was stripped of the football, and the Jets recover the fumble, and Namath has a first down at the Dolphins' 20-yard line.
I'll tell you, Rick, this is the way this game can change so quickly. The complexity completed. Stewart just stole that ball away.
McLean and Harkey are the split backs in behind Namath. This is bound to fire up this offensive team. Dolphins with a 24-10 lead. First down, Jets at the Dolphins' 20-yard line. Namath on the snap. Flag goes down. A handoff going to Harkey. He pounds inside and gets about a yard, and that's all. But there is a flag on the play. Let's see what the penalty is about. Illegal motion is the call against the New York Jets. One of those backs started too soon. Nick Bonaconte, the Dolphins defensive captain, conferring with the referee, Dick Jorgensen. Harkey goes out of the ball game, and Matt Snell comes in. And the Dolphins decline the penalty. They'll take the down instead. And the yardage situation is they put it down at the 19-yard line, so it'll be a second down and 9. For the Jets at the Dolphins' 19-yard line. Now we've got Mumford and Bob Matheson in on the Dolphins defense. The ball at the Dolphins' 19-yard line. Dolphins lead 24-10, but the Jets coming up with a big break on recovery of Charlie Lee's fumble on that punt. Here's Namath. Hands off to Emerson Boozer, who's in there. To the left side, inside the 10. Down to the 6-yard line goes Boozer. A tackle made by cornerback Tim Foley. They put it at the Dolphins' 6. Time left to play, 12:15. Dolphins 24, Jets 10, but Namath has got him knocking on the door. Dunaway and Cohen come in. Mumford and Matheson go out on the Dolphin defensive unit. A first down and goal situation. Matt Snell and Emerson Boozer are the running backs. Joe Namath with a first down and goal at the Dolphins' 6-yard line. In the shadows down here at the south end of the stadium. Namath sets his ball club. On the snap. Here's the handoff. Boozer inside, spreads his way down to about the 3. Emerson Boozer carried. Tackle on the play made by Dick Anderson and Vern Denherter. That will bring up a second and goal situation from the 3-yard line. As Maynard and Barkham go out, we get Harkey in the ball game and Wayne Stewart for the Jets. Malty Moore and Bob Hines come in on the defense for the Dolphins. A second and goal at the 3-yard line. The Dolphins made them settle for a field goal just a few moments ago. Let's see if they can do it again. They've got 3 running backs in now in the straight T formation in behind Namath. Here's the handoff. Boozer over the left side, dragging tacklers with him. He did not make it. He did not get into the end zone. There's no indication from the officials, and Boozer is mad, and so the officials. He bounces the ball on the turf, and you can hear the fans booing in the background.
Rick, they stopped him just about the 2-yard line there, and he kept moving, and he did get over the goal line, but they'd already whistled him dead.
It looked from here as if he might have gotten the ball in. Any part of the ball in is a touchdown in the NFL. They put it down at the 1-yard line, so it's third down and goal. And the Dolphins won. 10 minutes, 32 seconds left to go. Dolphins lead 24-10. Namath ready to go to work on a 3rd and goal at the Dolphins' 1-yard line. He sets his ball club on the snap. Hands off. Boozer, left side, touchdown. Emerson Boozer from 1 yard out over the left side gets the TD. His second of the year, actually scored 3, 1 on a pass, and this is his second by running. Bobby Howfield will try the point from placement. Bob Davis will hold. We have 10-17 left to go, and it's now a 24-16 ball game. Waiting for the snap. Here it is, set down. Howfield gets the toe into it. It's up, and it's good. A 19-yard drive, 5 plays, consumed 2:46. There's a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action will continue in 1 minute. The score are Dolphins 24, the Jets 17. Rick Weaver back at Shea Stadium, and Mercury Morris is back as a single back this time to receive Howfield's kickoff. Let's see what the strategy calls for here. With 10-17 to go, the Dolphins lead now down to 1 touchdown. He kicks it high, and he gets it deep. There will be no run back. He kicks it out of the end zone. Morris was back with all those blockers up in front of him, and Howfield really got the toe into it and kicked it way out of the end zone, so the Dolphins will start from our 20-yard line. The official attendance today, 63,841, which is 100 shy of an all-time record here for a Jets home game. The Dolphins now 80 yards away. Let's see if Greasy can go with the ball control. 10 minutes, 12 seconds to go. The Dolphins lead by a touchdown, 24-17. Waiting for the snap from center. His kick is the wingman to the left side. Here is the pitch to Zonka. Sweep to the left. He is to the 25. He's up to about the 30-yard line before he's knocked off his feet. Running down the near sideline. Chris Parasopoulos, the weak safety, is the man who finally brought him down. That will be a little bit shy of what they need for a first down. As Zonka gets 9 yards, they put it down at the 29. Henry?
Has absolutely nothing to do with the football game, but NBC TV has had a costly game today. They just lost a big television camera on the sidelines that fell off a truck and just shattered.
Zonka has carried unofficially 13 times for 68 yards. Warfield splits near side, fully far side, kicking Zonka split back. Behind Gracie, 2nd and 1 for the Dolphins from our 29-yard line. Gracie hands the kick, puts his head down, rams over the right side, and he's got the first down out across the 30-yard line. Gus Holloman, the veteran strong safety, played his college ball at Houston, made the tackle on the play. First down, Dolphins. Time becomes a factor now. Ball control, 24-17. Dolphins, they fired up Jets team playing their first home game of the season against a capacity crowd of 63,841. The Dolphins will return to Miami International Airport tonight. Are scheduled to at about 8 o'clock. Airtime next week for San Diego from the Orange Bowl on WIOD and these network stations, 12:50. Ball just across the 30. Dolphins first down. Greasy staggers the count. Flags go down. Handoff. Zonka. Big hole. 35. 40. Runs over a tackler and gets out to the 45-yard line. Flags go down. Greasy may have called it audible and staggered his count definitely because 2 of the defensive men for the Jets jumped and flags went down. They call offsides against the Jets, and of course the Dolphins decline it. They'll take the gain of Zonka, which is 15 yards, and gives the Dolphins a first down at the Dolphins' 45-yard line.
That's just great alert playing on behalf of Miami, Rick. You go ahead and run the play because this can conceivably happen, and you get more yardage in that penalty.
Out of the huddle come the Dolphins. Fully puts to the far side. Warfield sets in tight this time, and kick as a wingman. Right off Warfield. Zonka is in behind Greasy. First down, Dolphins at our 45-yard line. On the snap, handoff, Zonka, big hole in the middle. He puts his head down and bangs his way out to about the 49. That hole closed in a hurry because Ralph Baker, the left side linebacker, slid over and threw his 230 pounds into Zonk. They mark it at the 48, so he gets a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Henry?
Something I always like to see. Al Atkinson stuck his hand down, helped Zonka up after that play was over.
This has been a bruiser. John Little is in on the defensive front line for the Jets. Fully out of the huddle, splits to the far side. Warfield also goes to the far side as a swap man. Kicking Zonka, split backs behind Greasy. 2nd down and 7. Dolphins from our 48-yard line. On the snap, Greasy hands to Zonk. Counter trap across the right side, and Larry gets across the 50 into Jets territory at the 49. His knees were cut quickly from beneath him by middle linebacker Al Atkinson.
Rick, we're seeing just about a 4-5 there in that line. We're seeing 4 guys up in front, about 5 people right behind those linemen. And they know that we're going to run that ball, and we're still running it down their throats.
Fleming comes out, Mandich is in at tight end. They put the ball down just inside the 50, so actually it's going to be a 3rd and 5 situation. And the Dolphins have to get the ball to just across the 45 in Jets territory for a first down. 3rd down and 5. Greasy waiting for the snap. Long count. He drops the throw now. He sets. He fires. Caught by kick, and he's out of bounds. He's got the first down the far sideline at the Jets' 38-yard line. Jim Kick slanting out to the far side of the field was wide open. Ralph Baker ran him out.
Here's a slip not on polyturf, Rick. It was on actual sod. The sod hasn't caught on yet. And when he went out there, Jim just footing went right out from under him.
Greasy has unofficially thrown 26 times, hit 14 for 210 yards, which is his best day through the air thus far this season. Time a factor, field position, Dolphins with a 24-17 lead, 7:19 left to go in the ball game, and the Dolphins with a first down at the Jets' 38-yard line. Greasy up under center with that signal call. Kick goes in motion, right side handoff. Zonka, he finds a hole in the middle, barrels his way inside the 35, down to about the 32-yard line. Larry Zonka, who's having a good second half. Larry Grantham, the right side linebacker, makes the tackle on the play. A gain of about 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Dolphins. And you cannot never say enough, at least in my estimation, about Greasy. This guy is so heady, so intelligent. He knows exactly what he's doing. Twilley switched to the far side. Warfield to the near side. Kick and Zonka. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid are the split backs. In behind Greasy from the Jets 32 on 2nd down and 4. On the snap, Greasy drops the throw, has time, fires for Warfield on an out pattern. He's got it inside the 25, down to about the 24-yard line. And we got a flag on the play.
Rick, I can't believe what I'm seeing, but I thought that official was coming over there saying that Warfield was pushing on Thomas.
We got a flag on the play on the Warfield's reception, and the Dolphins are penalized back to the Jets' 47-yard line, apparently for offensive pass interference. And if they did call it against Warfield, I can't believe it. Well, there are several things that have happened in this ball game that are rather unbelievable. Garrow missing a couple of field goals. The ball is now back at the Jets' 47-yard line with a 2nd down and 20 for the Dolphins. Twilley and Warfield are split off the near side. Kick and Zonka in an eye behind Greasy. On the snap, Bob drops the throw. He sets. He fires. It is caught by Warfield this time, and he's down at the Jets' 36-yard line, down immediately as he just hooked out a hitch pass, and Steve Tannen fell on top of him to contain him at the 36-yard line. So they get back 11 of those as Mandich comes in. Let's pause for station identification on the Miami Dolphins Football Network.
You're always a winner when you get your guaranteed used cars at William Lehman Used Cars, 167th Street in North Miami Beach.
WIOD Miami.
3rd down and 9. Dolphins football at the Jets' 36-yard line. 5:57 to go. Dolphins, the 3rd down and 9. This is a big play here. Dolphins lead 24-17. Greasy drops the throw. He sets. He is firing in the middle. It is knocked away inside the 25. Incomplete. And they triple team that time as Early Thomas, Al Atkinson, as Greasy was going to Warfield, and he was really sandwiched in between those defenders, and they deflected the ball away at the 24-yard line. So we will go for the field goal. And with 5 minutes and 43 seconds left to play, this will be a 43-yard attempt. Garrow has kicked 1. He has missed 2 officially, 3 unofficially. A 43-yard attempt. From the near side inbound hash mark. Snap, set down. The kick is up. He's got the distance. It is good. And Garrow totes one through there, 43 yards when we really needed it with 5:38 left to play. Dolphin football action will continue in a minute. The score, our Dolphins 27, the Jets 17. 5:38 to go. Ferrisopoulos kicks deep to take Garrow's kickoff. He gets it high with the wind behind him. Right back, about 2 yards deep. Parasopolis starts out from the near side. 5, 10. He is cracked at the 15-yard line. Holy Toledo, what a hit. A good shot at the 15 by Hubert Ginn, who has been outstanding on the Dolphins specialty teams today. And so Namath, 85 yards away. 85 yards away as the officials call a timeout. A Dolphin is down on the field. And, or check it, a Jet is down on the field. Put the glasses on him out there, Marty, and see if you can pick him up. 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Matt Snell is the man who's shaken up. Matt plays on the blocking wall on the kickoff return team for the Jets. Henry?
The New York doctors were probing Matt Snell's left side. They're assisting him off the field. He's walking, but with his arm around the team doctor, he was explaining to him what was wrong, but they were probing that left side of his, and I'm sure they'll take him in and look at those ribs.
Unofficially, as far as Namath is concerned, he has thrown the ball 19 times, has completed 10 passes for 126 yards, 1 interception. He almost had a touchdown, but not quite. And they had to come out of it settling for a field goal. The Jets, with 5:15 to go, have a first down from their 15-yard line. And the Dolphins have a 10-point lead, 27-17. Namath drops the throw. He has time. He fires. Flag down. The pass is caught across the 35 out to the 37-yard line. Steve Harkey out of the Jets backfield caught it, but there was a flag down. And this is going to be called back.
Would you believe, Rick, it's offensive holding on some offensive linemen there on the Jets?
Everybody knows the Jets don't hold. And the penalty will be half the distance to the goal on the pass protection. This occurs when the pass rush is too tough for an offensive lineman to contain, right, Lou?
That's about it. And I'll tell you, you don't want to let anybody get in there and hit Namath and break those knees apart.
All right, the ball is placed down back on the 8-yard line. And it'll be a first down and about, 17 yards to go. About 16 yards to go. McLean sets up as a wingman off the right side. Namath on the snap, dropping straight back to throw. In the end zone, he fires. It is dropped. Rich Kester, the tight end, had to come around behind himself. He had to turn around in the middle of the air to try to get his hands on the football as the ball was thrown behind him. Nick Bonicatti and Lloyd Mumford covered on the play for the Dolphins. It'll be a second down and 16 for the Jets. The ball back at their 8-yard line. The incompletion stops the clock with 4:57 left to go. Dolphins 27, the Jets 17. Airtime next week on WIOD and these Dolphin Network stations from the Orange Bowl against the San Diego Chargers will be at 12:50. A second down and 16. McLean and Harkey, little mix-up. Now they set properly in behind Namath. Here's the handoff. McLean staggers off a tackle, slants to the left, gets out to the 10, and maybe the 11-yard line before Dick Anderson flattens him out. Can't say enough about this Dolphin defense containing Namath just about all the way through the first half. And he scored the first touchdown on the initial drive, and then did not score again until this final half. And the Dolphins, on that last touchdown, gave him excellent field position as Charlie Lee fumbled a punt. And they started that drive from the 20-yard line. Here's Namath. Back to throw. On third down, has time. Fires the short pass. It is caught by Harkey. He's across the 20, finds a hole. 25. Gets out to the 29-yard line. That should be good enough for a first down. Tackled by Mumford and Scott. It is first down for the Jets. As Namath swung a pass out to Harkey. Little square on the far side, cut for the middle, and got the yardage. They put it on the 28-yard line. First and 10 for the Jets at their 28. 3 minutes, 48 seconds to go. Maynard, Barkham split to the near side. Caster off to the far side. McLean and Harkey, the split backs. In behind Joe Namath. Jets from their 28. Here's the handoff on the draw play. McLean slanting across the left side. He carries tacklers with him out to about the 35-yard line. McLean has been a stalwart. They have not used Riggins to any great extent here in the second half. I just wonder if he might be hurt. He had a bad shoulder coming in. Stanfill and Matheson made the tackle on that last play. Gained him about 8 yards. It'll be a second down and 2 for the Jets. The ball up there, 36. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Dolphins with a 10-point lead. Castor splits to the far side. Maynard, the outside man to the near side, and Barkham, the slot man. McLean and Harkey, the split backs behind Namath. The Jets ball from their 36. Here is the handoff. Over the left side. Gets out across the 40 to the 45-yard line. It's Steve Harkey, and that is good for another Jets first down. The tackle on the play made by strong side linebacker Doug Swift.
Rick, we've seen his 53 defense a lot more today than we have any of the prior games, and ordinarily it's set up for a pass defense, but this has been real effective also in slowing down those runners.
2 minutes, 32 seconds left to go. The Jets with a first down at their 46-yard line. Namath splits Maynard and Barkham to the near side of the field. Castor, the tight end, is wide to the far side. McLean and Harkey are the split backs. Joe drops the throw. Has time. Now they're going to get to him. He's going to scramble. Now he throws the ball, and it's complete to Harkey across the 50, 45, and knocked down at the Miami 40-yard line. Joe had no intention of running with that ball as the pass rush overran him. And he just stepped up and started to take a few steps forward, being always aware where the line of scrimmage was, and completed a pass to Harkey. And they have a first down at the Dolphins' 40-yard line. There is the 2-minute warning. Dolphin football action will continue in 1 minute. The score, our Dolphins 27, the Jets 17. Well, this is getting real interesting again. This is Rick Weaver, Lou Crickmer, and Henry Barrow back at Shea Stadium in New York. The Jets down by 10 with 2 minutes to go. Namath has a first down at the Dolphins' 40-yard line. For our fans in Miami, stay tuned immediately following our play-by-play for the WIOD football scoreboard. All right, Namath brings his ball club out. Castor wide to the far side. Eddie Bell, the little flea at 5'10", is in there, and he's set as a back. Back to throw goes Namath. He's going to have to eat the football as he's about to be headed by Bob Matheson, who blindsided him, and Joe could hear those steps coming. He tried to run, and he just couldn't get out of Matheson's way. And so the defense takes over and throws Namath for a loss back to the Dolphins' 49-yard line. A 9-yard loss on the play.
And that is really making that 53 defense effective, Rick, when you have Matheson come in there and blow and get to the passer.
All right, a second down and 19. Jets ball at the Dolphins' 49-yard line. Maynard and Barkham, white men to the near side. Castor wide to the far side. McLean and Harkey are the backs in behind Namath. Second and long yardage. Joe drops the throw. He fires a middle screen. It is dropped by McLean, and he got a tremendous rush that time as the Dolphins were blowing. Manny Fernandez came booming in there, as did Stanfill, and they just handled those blockers like they were non-existent. And Namath just let them come and threw a middle screen. McLean was the intended receiver in the middle, and he drops the football. The Jets call a timeout to use up one of their 3 timeouts. 1:35 left to go. And when time is in, it'll be 3rd and 19 from the Dolphins' 49. Henry?
The reason that timeout was called is Namath's right knee is bothering him. He's trying to walk it off. It hurts. And he's walking around limping even more than he normally does on that right knee. It's bothering him. He went down on that knee.
This did that occur just now, or did it occur earlier in the ball game when he was laid out?
This one that's bothering him right now occurred just on that play. He landed on his knees when he tried to recover his balance, and it's bothering him.
Yeah, Manny really unloaded on him, Henry, when he came in there, and that's probably the big reason.
All right, time is still out on the field. Namath continues to walk around back there. Joe, unofficially, is 12 for 23 for 162 yards. Maynard has caught 2 for 26. Barkham has caught 4 for 75, and Harkey 3 for 41. Dolphin defense, that has been the story in crucial situations in this ball game. Bonacani and Anderson from the near sideline are into the Dolphin defense. Time is in with 1:35 to play. The Jets have the ball at the Dolphin 49 with a 3rd down and 19. Dolphins with a 10-point lead, 27-17. Namath has his offense spread all over the field. He sets the ball club. On the snap, he goes back to throw. He fires, and again McLean drops the football at the 45-yard line. A little flare pass out here. There was no screen formed in front of him. And the ball appeared to be right on target, and McLean dropped it. There was not a defensive man around him, so he couldn't hurt any footsteps.
This is getting so anxious, Rick. You want to catch that ball and go all the way. You only have a couple of minutes left. You want to really scoot, and you forget about catching that ball.
Well, the fans get up on that play and begin to file out. 4th down and 19. This is the play of the ball game for the Jets. At the Dolphins' 49-yard line, they have to get to the 30 for a first down. Maynard comes to the near side as the wide man. Barkham is slot man right. Castor is split off the far side. 4th and 19. Jets ball at the Dolphins' 49. Back to throw goes Namath. Good protection. He fires deep down the near side. Barkham is down there. Knocked away. Incomplete. Dick Anderson on top of the play. Good defensive maneuver at the 10-yard line. Right down here in the near corner by Anderson on Barkham. And that just about tells the story of the ball game, as Namath had to go for the bomb. The Dolphins knew it, and they had double coverage, triple coverage over here. Anderson got to the ball and knocked it away. So the Dolphins take over on 4th down. With a minute and 24 seconds to go, a first down at our 49-yard line. The Dolphins lead 27-17. Warfield comes out, being given a rest for the first time this afternoon. Stowe is in, and he and Twilly are the wide receivers. Kick and Zonka are the split backs behind Greasy. Dolphins first down from our 49-yard line. Here's the handoff to Zonka. Tries to get outside, cuts back to his left, threads his way for pretty good yardage. Gets down to about the Jets' 45-yard line, a 6-yard pickup. John Elliott makes the stop on the play. And a timeout is called by the Jets to stop the clock with 1:12. We have Zonka unofficially at 100 yards. 18 carries, 100 yards, and most of these yards picked up in the second half. That is an unofficial figure as kept here by Hank Goldberg, but it's pretty close to being accurate. Jets call a timeout to stop the clock. They have one timeout remaining. He has picked up unofficially, Zonka has 75 in the second half. This would be his eighth 100-yard rushing game in his career. And he had one earlier in the opening game against Kansas City when he carried the ball for 118 yards. So the Dolphins, with a minute and 12 seconds left to play, have the football with a 2nd and 4 at the Jets' 45, and have the lead by a score of 27-17. So comes out of the ball game, and Howard Twilly is in. Jim Mandich is in, and the official stats give Zonka 17 carries for 97 yards, so we'll see. He will have a chance to carry the ball a few more times probably here in this ball game. The Dolphins set Twilly in tight with a 2nd and 4. Zonka and kick the I-backs, and behind Greasy. Here's the pitch to kick. Sweeps to the right, cuts back to his left, shakes the tackler, gets inside the 45, still digging for yardage, and down to the 43-yard line goes Jim Kick. Rich Sowell, the cornerback, and middle linebacker Al Atkinson in on the stop. 56 seconds left to play in this football game with the clock moving. The Jets still have a timeout. The Dolphins have all 3 of theirs. And the Dolphins have the football at the Jets' 44-yard line with a 3rd down and 2. And this ball game wrapped up 27-17 in a hard-nosed defensive affair which has featured excellent play on the part of both ball clubs. Kick and Zonka, the split backs behind Greasy with a 3rd down and 2 from the Jets' 43-yard line. Here's the handoff going to Zonk, cuts outside to the left. He's got a first down. Back to his right he goes. He's inside the 40, down to the 39, and that should assure his 100-yard performance. Chris Sarasopoulos, Al Atkinson on the stop. New York uses up their final timeout to stop the clock with 16 seconds showing on the board. Zonka is over the 100-yard mark for the 8th time in his career and the 2nd time this year, and the 2nd time in as many years against this New York Jets team. He's rambled for some 75 or 80 yards in the second half. First down, Dolphins, the ball at the Jets' 39-yard line. When time is in, there will be 16 seconds to play. Don't forget airtime next week along this Dolphin network, 12:50, as the Dolphins come home to face the San Diego Chargers, one of the great passers of all time, John Hadle. From the 39, Greasy ready to operate. Hands the kick, goes into the middle. He's inside the 35, dragging tacklers with him down to the 30-yard line. New York does not have any more timeouts left, and the Dolphins will just run out the clock as Kick picks up about 9 yards on the carry. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and there's the end of the ball game. The Dolphins still are the only unbeaten team in the NFL with a 4-0 record and a 2-game bulge, which we'll check out for you in the AFC East. The final score, the Dolphins 27, the Jets 17.